crowded hallways are the loneliest places for outcasts and rebels, or anyone who just dares to be different. And you've
My
been
sexuality
trying
is
for
really
so
complicated now. When I came out originally, I came out as a lesbian, and things have changed since then. If you want the long answer, it's demisexual, panromantic, homoflexible, queerness.
Queer is just like an umbrella term, and so until I have a more set definition of like who I'm attracted to, what turns me on, what definitely turns me off, I think I'll just align myself with queer.
I like queer. I think it's a good word. It's very all-encompassing. It doesn't really pigeonhole people, since sexuality and gender are all fluid.
and you're not invisible. Hear me out.
For a very long time, I would not allow myself to think that I could be anything but straight, just because of the way I was raised. It was just a very unconscious process, I think. And I realized now that I was dating someone, like a female, for like 2 weeks, and we were like talking on Facebook, and she was like, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And I was like, "What?" Like, girlfriend, like, what is that? And I was like, okay, well, sure. And then I realized that I had to change my Facebook, like, who are you interested in settings, and, you know, like, leave it to Facebook to leave you to, like, the black and white decisions in your life.
Whenever Aladdin came out, I was like, oh yes, like, I'm in love with Aladdin. And I used to tell my mom, like, I was gonna be Princess Jasmine and marry him, and she's like, no, like, hell no, like, not my son.
I actually told my mom first, and she told me I was wrong, and that was rough for our relationship for a very long time.
I don't have any trouble telling anybody that, you know, I'm attracted to men. I do have trouble admitting that I'm attracted to women, only because my gender identity and expression it aligns more with the feminine side, and it's slightly flamboyant. It's so fucking weird. It's like, I think I did it backwards. So, I really just think I did it backwards. Actually, honestly, I would have preferred if it would have been the other way, where like I grew up liking girls and then figured out I like guys.
When I was in high school, I thought, right as it was coming out, like, most of the discrimination, as I mentioned, was based on my sexuality. Now that I am comfortable with who I am, and I'm on a college campus where it's not a focal point in your interaction with people, I have discovered what it means to be oppressed as a woman.
Because, I don't know, I'm already very privileged as a cisgendered white male that, like, can pass as straight. So I feel like of any abuse that I would get, a lot of it gets weeded out with that privilege.
Publicly harassed, spat on, people picketed my graduation, different things like that. And so definitely changed the way my life was in high school. We're on a college campus where I think that it just facilitates a different kind of thinking, and just a re-investigation of norms and assumptions.
Like, the one time my father like made me go to like football practice, he's like, you're gonna join the football team, and then like it was kind of just like I was ignored on the field and stuff like that. And so even throughout high school, like, all my friends were girls, just primarily just because there was never that connection with other boys.
It's not like I was really worried about anyone's reaction. It was really, I don't know, we're conditioned to be afraid of anything that's not the norm. And I realized that I wasn't part of that group. And that's always scary to think about. Came out to a couple of my friends first. Well, a couple of my acquaintances first. Because, like, I didn't really have as much invested in them, I guess. Like, thinking about it now, it seems kind of awful to say. But it wasn't as big of a loss if they rejected me. So it was easier for me to come out to them.
Usually it's their parents. Especially on college campuses, it's usually because they don't want their parents to find out, because their parents financially support them.
It's always in the closet to their family, because their family is very religious, and you don't really intend on going back to their family.
I think it's great what it is in and of itself. It's wonderful. But then I worry about the other things within the LGBT community that I think warrant more attention.
I think there are a lot of other problems that we need to look at, but I'm glad that marriage is being more legalized throughout the United States. That's great.
Across the nation, gay teens are getting the shit beat out of them just for being who they are, and like, nobody's really talking about it because we're focusing on gay marriage.
Well, I think the thing that I want to say to every queer person, in the closet, out of the closet, wherever they are on their stage of life, is that like everything is normal if you feel good about it, and whatever stage you're at is the right stage for you at that time. And so, you know, to just really take care of yourself as a queer person, take care of your other identities, and really work on being comfortable with yourself, because in the end, that's really all that matters. So
I think it gets better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel fake saying that because I was really lucky and I don't feel like I had to go through a lot of the awful things that many people have to go through